I hope all the students can listen to me. Okay. In the last class, we had discussed about the chapter that we have started. It is basically Adobe Photoshop CS3. Adobe Photoshop CS3. It's an image editing software that we are studying. So in the last class, what did we do? We saw the procedure, how we can download it from the internet free of cost, and how we can install it. I had explained you the procedure of installation, and one crack file was also there, and I had explained you about it, and I had asked you that I will upload the video. You can go through the video again, and you should install Adobe Photoshop in your computer system. So is there any student who has any problem in it? All the students have got Photoshop installed in their PCs? Okay, fine. It means all of you have done. All of you have done. If someone has got any problem, then he can raise the hand. Someone has got any problem, then he can raise the hand. Okay. Yes.
Sir, I installed the file, but when I right click it, it doesn't give the option of extract files.
Because you don't have the WinZip installed in your computer system. Basically, WinZip is basically a software, you know. WinZip is a software that can you see on my screen? This is the software.
Yes, sir.
This is used for extraction. If you don't have the WinRAR or WinZip, normally WinRAR is used. It is also available free of cost over the internet. You can download it from anywhere. But when the WinRAR will be available, then you will be able to extract it. Otherwise, you won't be able to extract it. When you right click on the
Okay,
file,
sir.
then extract here option comes if and only if you have WinRAR installed in your PC. Fine. Okay. Yes, Rafe Saeed. You want to say something? Yes, Rafi.
Yes. Sir, I downloaded this software, sir. When I go to Files Program 86 and Adobe, sir, there is just one option, Reader 10.0. So, sir, how do
No,
I paste
first let
in
me know that Adobe
there?
Photoshop is installed in your PC in this way. Can you see my start menu? It is showing you in this way. It is installed in your PC.
Yes, sir.
It is showing you in this way. In this way, it is showing you. Okay. Yes, quickly tell me, Abdul Rafi Saeed.
Yes, sir.
So what is the case? Basically, we have got two types of folders. Either it will be in program files. Can you see my screen? Either
Yes,
it
sir.
will be in program files or in the program files it's six. Right now, if I click on the program file, there is no Adobe folder. No Adobe folder. But when I go to my program files 86, can you see the Adobe Photoshop folder? Adobe folder is there. This is the folder.
Yes.
Then Adobe Photoshop folder is there. Yes. Then here we need to paste the file. Here we need to paste that correct file in order to run our Photoshop in a proper way. Otherwise, you know that it will require for the CD key, it will require for licensing. In other words, it is requiring for the fees. So it will be difficult for us to do this. So it is very important for us to understand this thing. So I hope now, Rafi, this is clear to you. Okay. Wes Yasin, quickly, Wes.
So when I install the Adobe Photoshop, it says that provide a serial number or just a day or just a 30 days free trial.
Yeah, that is why it is providing you serial number. It is asking you to enter serial number when you open this, na? When you open the file, when you click on this option, when you are clicking on it, it is asking you for the serial number.
See,
This is the case. Avas.
yes, sir.
So that's why I had told you the solution. Why it is requiring? Why it is requiring? Because it is not a cracked version. It is requiring for the license. So that's why I had told you that what you will do, you will copy that file from the crack folder and you will paste in that location. And as I have explained you, after doing that thing, you won't face this issue. This issue will be resolved. Whereas now this thing is clear.
Yes, sir.
You did not do that step of cracking that I had told you. Remember, this is the folder. This is the folder. You have to copy this file from here. Right click on it, copy it. Copy this file. Copy this file and go to where? Go to in your C drive. Find out that the Adobe Photoshop is there in the program files or in the program files 86. Just like in my PC, it is in program files 86. Go to Adobe, go to Photoshop CS3 folder, go to Photoshop CS3 folder and paste it over here. Paste it over here. Okay. So in this way, you will be able to resolve this issue. And I had explained this thing in detail. Okay. So now I think almost all the students have installed, so there isn't an issue. And I had explained you this thing in a detailed manner so that though no one should face any problem while working on the Adobe Photoshop CS3. Okay, now come towards first I would like to make a checklist that what are the things that we have done, so that we need to be very much clear about it, what are the tasks that we have done in Adobe Photoshop practically, because practical understanding is more important in my opinion, because if you understand it practically then you will be able to write it in your own words if some question is asked. So what we are doing, we are exercising Adobe Photoshop CS3, and of course this is your chapter number 7. Okay, fine. So what we have done, how to install, how to install we have done, how to crack, now you have understood what is meant by crack. When the original software is requiring for the CD key or license fee, so we can crack it. Okay, so this is basically a method to avoid this thing. Otherwise, um, in the developed countries this is not allowed, but normally for older versions we can do this thing. Okay, then what did we do? How to open, how to take a new file. Remember what we had done in the new file? What were the options available? How to set, what? Length, breadth, and resolution of a graphic file. These are the things that we have done. How to open an image. These are the things that we have done. Okay. Then similarly, we said that what different tools, tool panel. We discussed about the tool panel as well. So these are the things that we have done, and we are increasing our points over here in this file. So I will give you this in the form of a Google Doc, that you will be able to see that on which date what we have done. So I think this thing we had done in our last class. These all things are done. Now we are going to move ahead. How to open a file, how to save as. What will be the extension of the file of Adobe Photoshop? Just raise the hand and let me know. What will be the extension of the Adobe Photoshop file? Yes, quickly raise the hand and let me know. Extension of a file that you save in Adobe Photoshop. Yes, Kamlesh.
Sir, .psd.
.psd. Kamlesh, also tell me that can we publish it in some other format?
No, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I had told you. How?
Sir, by
saving?
just changing the extension to
Yeah.
.jpg.
Yeah,
JPG.
if we need to publish it on internet, on social media, on any website, on any blog, So we are not going to place our PSD file. PSD file will not be suitable because PSD file is a heavier file. What we are going to do, we will
Okay.
convert it into some JPEG format, GIF format, or some kind of, PNG format. If the transparent background is there, then we will take PNG format. And then that will be a reduced size in KBs. It will be in kilobytes. But normally the PSD file is in MBs. It is a heavier file. Okay. 100 MB, 200 MB, if, depending on our work, what kind of work is there that we have done in the file. What is the resolution that we have taken for a particular file that we are doing. Okay. So these all are the things that we discussed. Then we discussed about you know title bar, maximize, minimize button. These all are the things. I don't think so I should repeat these things. What is the purpose of the status bar? Who will tell me the status bar? What is status bar? What does it show? Yes, please raise the hand and let me know. Status bar, in each software the status bar is there. Yes, Yusuf.
Yes, sir.
Yes, do you know about status bar?
Yes.
What is meant by status bar? Can you tell me?
Yes, it displays information based,
Yes.
such as the magnification and the file size and etc.
Good, good. So basically, what happens over there? What happens that let's suppose this is an image that you have got, you have opened. So what it is going to show you? The status bar is basically going to show you the status. You can see this. This is the file size, 26.2 MB. It is a heavy file taken from DSLR. Okay. Similarly, it is showing you that it is 16.7%, means it is not its original size. If I make it to the 100%, then you can see that the image is very large. But since I can't see it in this way, if I take this hand option and if I move it, so it will be very difficult for me to watch this. So what can I do? I can make it in some smaller size, let's suppose 15%. So then I am able to see this. So it shows magnification and the file size, how much the size file is magnified and the file size, as Yusuf has mentioned over here. Good. Okay, fine. Now come towards the next things that we are doing. What is the purpose of the rectangular marquee tool? Rectangular marquee tool, what does it do? Yes, raise the hand quickly. We had discussed about it that it is basically used to select some area. Let's suppose if I take marquee tool in rectangular shape, I can select some area of the picture, just like I have selected this area. So this is basically used to select some area. Why we select? Raza Heather, can you tell me why do we select some area of the picture? What is the purpose behind it?
Sir, if we need to, when we select an area of the picture, we can like take it apart, and if we want that specific point of picture, we can take it apart from the main picture.
Okay, what we can do, we can copy it. Basically, what we can do, we can copy it. Let's suppose if I am taking it from here, so I will be able to make a copy for this portion. Let's suppose if I want to use it. So what I can do, I can copy via layer. So I can copy it on some other layer by taking by going to the layers options. If the layers options are closed, you can open the layers. Layers are very important. Keep in mind that the each object is placed on different layer. Just like this image this image is there. Can you see the layers? Right now the layers are not visible. So you will go to the window option, open the layers. Layers can also be opened by F7. Now can you see that these are the layers? Can you see this option? Layers is written over here. How many layers are there right now? There, one layer is their background, one layer is their background, and other layer is also there with the name of layer 1. Why it is created? Because I selected a portion. Now see again. See again. If I select some portion of the picture, if I select some portion of the picture and I right click on it and I say copy via layer, layer via copy. So then it is going to, background should be selected because we are taking from the background. Then it is going to make a copy. Can you see this? This is layer 2. So what will happen now? I can move this portion. I can move. Why I can move this portion? Because this is on another layer. Can you see this? This is on layer 2. That's why I can move it. But if I am on background layer and I select some portion, I will not be able to move it. No, I am not able to move it. No. But if I have made it on some other layer, so what will we do? What I will be able to do? I will be able to move it from here and there. Why? Because because this is now on another layer. This is being shown you on the same picture. Picture is same, but the layer is different. That's why we can change the position of the object in a very easy way according to our requirement. On layer 1, if I click on layer 1, I had selected this portion for the layer 1. So now you can see that I can move this portion. Okay. So this is how we can do this job quite easily. We can take any portion of the picture. Let me show you this thing once again so that you may have a clear concept about it. First we will take some image. Let's suppose we take an image from here. Okay, these are some different images related to the computer science. Let's suppose if I take this image. Now this is a complete image showing you the connector RJ45. Okay. Now what I want to do, I want to copy only this portion of pin, and I want to use it somewhere else, or I want to apply something on it. So what I'm going to do now, see right now how many layers are there? Only one layer, index, which is basically a background layer. This is basically one image, background image. One image is there. So what I can do, what I will do, I will select from here. Now I'm taking elliptical marquee tool, means in round shape, not in rectangular shape. I select this portion. Okay. If I select, okay, fine. I select this portion in this way. Fine. Now there are two ways. Either I should take a new layer and I should move it, or I will right click on it and I can make a copy for it. Okay, copy option is right now closed. Since these are basically downloaded images, these are not allowing us to take copy of those portions, but we will have to unlock them. Let me take the image from the desktop, which does not have any problem with it, such kind of problem. Okay. If I take a portion from here, right click on it, then copy via layer. So it should be a background image. Background image, when we have got some image, then we will be able to make a copy on the separate layer, and that particular layer will move anywhere we want in our document, and we can make changes to our document. If we want to save this document, so what we can do, we can make it as save as, and we can save it to other formats. Last time I had told you this thing, that JPEG option is there, bitmap option is there, TIFF option is there, PNG is there. So we can save it as a JPEG option. Okay, now what I am doing a copy of copy of lesson file now, and I am taking JPEG option. So it will be saved in the JPEG option. Whenever you are saving it in the JPEG option, JPEG means it will be an image. So you can see that it asks you about the resolution. If you take the resolution high, its size will be very large. Fine. So whenever you are saving, when you click on the save button, it shows you this box. So what you are going to do, if you have to use it on over the internet, you will take it lower. Okay, lower over here. Otherwise, it will be a very heavy size. Let me show you the demo for it. For example, if I take it lower and if I save it on the desktop, now see on the desktop what is the size of the file. This is the lesson file that I have created. If you see the size, you will be able to see that it is in kilobytes. 333 34 kilobytes that can easily be uploaded on any web page, social media page, on any any kind of blog, but it is very less size, having very less size. If you see the original picture is in MBs. Okay, so right now can you see that it is 1.8685 MB. So original picture is in MBs, and this picture that we have saved in the lower resolution, it is in KBs. So that this is the thing that we need to understand, that whenever we are publishing for the internet, we will take lower, otherwise we will take higher resolution when we are saving the JPEG file. Okay, come to the lesson again so that we can cover these all things. So what we have understood now, how to use I will give you this file in your Google Classroom, how to use marquee tool, and we used it for rectangle and oval both. Okay, then what did we do? How to make a portion of a how to take a portion of an image on separate layer. This is the thing that we have understood now. Okay, how to take the portion of an image on separate layer, then how to save as a file in JPEG, PNG, TIFF, bitmap, BMP, etc. formats. This is the thing that we have understood. Okay, so these are basically the tasks that we have tried to understand, and we have gone through them even practically, so that you should not face any sort of problem when you are doing this. The video will also be given to you. Tasks. I will give you this in your Google Classroom. So these were the tasks that we did on yesterday in the last class. Last class was, I think, on 20th. And these are the things that we have done today. Okay. So we will be updating this file in the Google Classroom, and you will be able to see that what we have done in practically, so that there should be a clear concept. And how to open a file, this thing I think we have discussed, how to take a new file. Remember these options? I had explained you all these options. Fine. If you have got any question, you can ask me. How to save a file, I have explained you this, how to save a file, how to save in another format, what is the default extension, I have explained this thing to you. Changing a background and foreground color. Background and foreground color, how can we change? Now this is an important thing that we are going to discuss. So Photoshop uses the foreground color to paint, fill and stroke selections. Stroke is called basically the outline. Outline is called stroke. And fill is inside color. Whenever we are drawing any object, fill is inside color and stroke is outside color. The background color is used for gradient fill and for filling the erased area of an image. The default foreground color is black. Default by default when you open, but right now since we had changed last time, so it is showing you this is foreground color and this is background color. So we can change the foreground color. Let's suppose it is green, but I'm converting it to blue. What is the background color right now? The background color is white. Let's suppose if I convert it to the red, we are talking about basically the foreground and the background color. These are the two colors which are available over here, and we have to use it accordingly. Now the question is, you can change the foreground or background color using the eyedropper tool as well to pick the color. Eyedropper tool is there when we need to pick the color, when we need to take some color from the given image. Let me show you the example of it. Let's suppose if I open one file, one image file. Okay, let's suppose if I am downloading, if I am taking one picture from here, I am saving it in on my desktop. Now I am opening this picture. Let's suppose now this is the image, and for this image, what I want to do, the image size is since less, so let me convert it to 150%. Okay. Now let's suppose if you want to take this color, if you want to use this color, how you can bring this color over here? How you can bring this color over here? So you will take this tool. This is called eyedropper tool. Can you see this? What is it written over here? Eyedropper tool. Eyedropper tool is there when you are taking some color from an image, existing image. For example, if I want to take this color of grass, let's suppose. So I will take the eyedropper tool. I will click over here. Can you see this? This foreground color has been changed. Can you see this? This foreground color has been changed according to this. Otherwise, it was very difficult for me to find out from here. To find out from here this color, it is very, how will I match? It is very difficult for me. So whatever color is there, let's suppose if I want to take this red color of the flag, I will click over here, then this color will appear in the foreground color. So this is how we can take this color. Let's suppose now I have taken this red color flag, and now you can use this when I draw a rectangle, so it will appear in the same color. Why? Because I have taken that color. Now the color of this rectangle is matched with my flag. Why? Because I took the color from there using eyedropper tool. Using eyedropper tool. So what we understood, how to pick a color using eyedropper tool. Fine. So now we have understood this thing. So whatever you will object you will draw, so you will be able to do this thing. Fine. Let me stop it over here and let me mark the attendance first. Okay, from Raza Haider to Hassan Shoaib. Mohammad Munam. Okay, fine. So how to use the eyedropper tool? We have understood now this thing very much clearly, and we can change it, change the color in this way. Whenever you are taking the color, you will see one important thing. If you are selecting color from here, so it is showing you some things, some statistical information. Can you see this? Basically, every color has got one number. If you are given the number of the number of the color is normally there in the hexadecimal number. So you can find out the number of the color by that particular color using color number. Fine. Let's suppose I'm just giving you example. Let's suppose if I want to take this color, this is the color. What this color is? If I want to save it, if I want to note it down that this is the color that I have chosen for my work, for example, for any type of, so I will note down this color. I will note down in some file. Okay, let's suppose if I'm saying how to note down color in the note down the number of a color. Now I have noted down this number. This is the number. Let's suppose if I close the Adobe Photoshop, even if I close it, okay. Now I am interested to, and if I even if I have changed this color as well. Now if I want to have, I take a new file and I want to draw something on it in that particular color that I have saved. Okay, so what I am going to do, I will copy that color from here, that this is the color in which I want to work. I will copy it. I will go to the Photoshop. I will go there and I will mention the name of the color over here to find out that what kind of color is there. Let me open some image. Okay, so over here I will type that number. When I will type that number, so that particular color will appear over here. So in this way we can remember the color as well, because there are hundreds and thousands of colors, very less different from each other. So in this way we can also change the color depending on our requirement. So this is the thing that they have explained over here whenever we are taking foreground or background color. Selecting tools, in Adobe Photoshop we can divide the selection tools into two major category. Marquee tool, I have explained you the marquee tool. Lasso tool is also there. So these are basically two types of tools. Marquee tool contains rectangle, oval, line, single row marquee tool, and single column marquee tool is also there. For example, if I'm taking it in this way, so this is rectangle. If I'm taking it in polygon, in elliptical shape, so it is going to do it in this way. But if you want to have a narrow, so it will be done in this way, but it will be very narrow. If you want to have a column, then you are going to take it in this way. Okay, so this is basically the marquee tool for selection of object. This is marquee tool for selection which contains rectangle, ellipse, single row, and single column. So this is the thing that has been explained over here. Using marquee tools, you can select areas of an object in rectangular, square, elliptical, or circular shapes. Circular and elliptical are done by the elliptical, and rectangular and square are done by the rectangle. The steps for making a selection are, I have already explained you these steps. Practically, I have explained you, so I don't need, I should read it again. I have explained you. You can see the video again even. Select the required marquee tool from the list, and then you have to drag it on the image, and then you will select it. If you want to make a new layer, then you are going to make a layer, and then of course you are going to apply whatever height or width is there. The single row, it contains 1 pixel width. Now this is very important. To select a single row of 1 pixel width, you are going to use the marquee tool of row. Otherwise, you are going to use the marquee tool of column, which is going to select 1 column of a single pixel. As I have explained you, means it is very narrow. Place the mouse pointer on the image and drag around the area to select. As I have explained you, this is very important thing. For example, from the bunch of flowers, if you want to take the picture of this flower, so you will take ellipse shape, and you will select this area in round shape, and then you can make a new layer for it if you want to do some working on it. Then come towards the lasso tool. Lasso is basically comparatively different selection tool. It is also a selection tool, but it is different in nature. So in the next class, we will be discussing about the lasso. Okay. Fine. So lasso tool is not regular shape. It is not a regular shape like rectangle, ellipse, or circle, but it is a different kind of shape. For example, if you want to select a person, so you will have to select his hands, shoulders, heads, complete body, and then this job will be done by the lasso tool. So we will apply inshallah lasso tool in the next class. Up to here, if you have got any question, kindly anything that you want to ask, please raise the hand and ask me, because our class time is now about to over. What should I consider? All the things are clear. Whatever I have explained, I should think this. Should I? Okay, it means all these things are clear to you all. So what you will do, you will take some images, background images, and you will apply these all options. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give you, I will give you this file as well. I will give you this file as well in your Google Doc, so that you can see this, what we have done today. What are the tasks that we have done today? What are different things that we have done today, so you have to do it accordingly. This was the yesterday's work that we did, and this is basically the today's work that we have understood. Okay, marquee tool we have done, oval and line. Line means row and column. Okay, row and column marquee is also done. Okay, thank you so much, all of you. Please go through it. Take interest in this subject. Take interest in Adobe Photoshop. It is very useful. Even when you will be in your higher classes, you will always need this software to do different kind of jobs. You are making a graphic, you are making a publication, you are going to give presentation to your teachers, or you are in your graduation, or you are in your engineering, whatever you are doing, you will need this software, because this is an important software. We can make some different kind of good things in it. So you have to see, you have to go through it. Please go through it, do some practice, try to make some small things in it, try to make sceneries using these tools, try to make house, try to draw some things, so that you may have a good practice of it. Take interest in it. Okay, thank you so much.